She claimed she wanted privacy. She said royal life was suffocating. She convinced Harry to abandon his duties and leave the institution that gave her the title in the first place. But 6 years later, Meghan Markle clings to Duchess of Sussex like her life depends on it. Because it does. Journalists are calling her out. The public is mocking her relentlessly. Royal experts are exposing the staggering hypocrisy. Meghan has embedded her royal title everywhere. Her website, her Netflix projects, her business ventures, every single public statement. She left the royal family. She trashed the monarchy on global television. She called them racist and cruel. But she absolutely refuses to drop the one thing that connects her to them, the Duchess title. Why? Because without Duchess of Sussex, Meghan Markle is just a failed cable TV actress nobody remembers. The title is the only thing keeping her relevant, and she knows it. The desperate overuse of royal credentials while simultaneously attacking the institution is being exposed as pathetic hypocrisy, and Meghan is being mocked for every shameless instance. The backlash intensified when multiple journalists and commentators publicly called out Meghan's obsessive use of her royal title. The criticism went viral because everyone had noticed the pattern, but finally people were saying it out loud. According to reports, Meghan has her Duchess of Sussex title prominently displayed on virtually every platform she controls. Her official website leads with it. Her social media bios feature it. Her business correspondence includes it. Her Netflix production credits highlight it. One journalist noted, "For someone who claimed the royal institution was destroying her mental health and filed formal complaints about her treatment, Meghan sure loves using the title that institution gave her." The observation sparked thousands of comments agreeing with the hypocrisy. People started cataloging just how extensively Meghan uses the Duchess title. Her Archewell Foundation lists her as Meghan, the Duchess of Sussex. Her Netflix credits read Meghan, the Duchess of Sussex. Her forthcoming lifestyle brand prominently features by Meghan, Duchess of Sussex. Public statements are issued under the office of the Duke and Duchess of Sussex. Even her children's book was credited to Meghan, the Duchess of Sussex. She uses it constantly, obsessively, desperately, despite claiming she wanted nothing to do with the institution that granted it. And people are finally calling out the blatant hypocrisy and transparent desperation. Let's be very clear about the contradiction here, because it's staggering in its audacity. What Meghan claimed during Oprah interview and subsequent media, the royal family was toxic and damaging to her mental health. She felt trapped and suffocated by royal protocols. She wanted privacy and freedom from the institution. Royal life was destroying her, and she had to escape the institution. Was racist and refused to protect her. What Meghan does in practice, uses her royal title constantly and prominently, trades on royal connections for business deals, leverages Duchess status for celebrity access, refuses to drop the title despite leaving royal duties, markets herself primarily as Duchess of Sussex. See the problem? You can't have it both ways. You can't claim the institution is toxic while simultaneously using the credentials it gave you as your primary source of relevance and income. If the royal family was truly as terrible as Meghan claimed, if the experience was genuinely traumatic, if the institution is racist and cruel, why would she want to keep any connection to it? Why not drop the title, distance herself completely, and build something independent? Because she can't. Because without the Duchess title, Meghan has nothing that distinguishes her from thousands of other mid-level actresses and lifestyle influencers trying to build brands. The royal title is her only claim to fame. It's the only reason Netflix gave her a deal. It's the only reason publishers paid for her children's book. It's the only reason anyone pays attention to her lifestyle content. Meghan isn't Duchess of Sussex because she's proud of her royal service or contributions to the institution. She's clinging to Duchess of Sussex because it's her only marketable asset. Let's talk about what this title overuse really represents. Desperate clinging to relevance. Before Harry, Meghan Markle was a supporting actress on a cable TV legal drama. Not the star, not even the second lead, a supporting character on a show most people had never heard of. She had modest fame in very limited circles. She ran a lifestyle blog that had decent but not spectacular traffic. She did some humanitarian photo ops and tried to position herself as a philanthropist, but without major platform or influence. Then she married Prince Harry and became the Duchess of Sussex. Suddenly, she had global recognition, massive media attention, access to world leaders and celebrities, platform to speak to millions. The title transformed her from minor TV actress to globally recognized figure, and she knows, with absolute clarity, that without that title, she returns to obscurity. That's why she won't let it go. That's why it appears on everything she touches. That's why even her lifestyle content about cooking and entertaining leads with Duchess of Sussex. Because Meghan Markle, former Suits actress, doesn't sell. Meghan, Duchess of Sussex, does. It's a relevance lifeline, a brand anchor, the only thing preventing her complete slide back into the D-list celebrity category she came from. And the desperate overuse proves she understands this perfectly. Every time she emphasizes Duchess, Every time she ensures the title is prominently displayed, every time she refuses to just be Meghan Markle, she's admitting that the title is what gives her value, which makes her attacks on the royal family even more hypocritical. She's trashing the institution while desperately clinging to the credentials it provided. She's calling them toxic while using their title as her primary brand identity. It's pathetic, and people are finally calling it out. The public response to Meghan's title overuse has been brutal and unforgiving. Social media is flooded with mockery. She left royal life but won't leave the royal title. Make it make sense. For someone who hates the royal family so much, she sure loves reminding everyone she's a duchess. Drop the title if you hate them so much, Meghan. Oh wait, you can't, because nobody would care about you anymore. The cognitive dissonance of trashing the monarchy while using duchess on everything is wild. She's like someone who quits a job dramatically, then keeps using the company name on their LinkedIn for credibility. Most divorced people drop their ex's name. Meghan's clinging to hers like a barnacle. The comparisons are cutting because they're accurate. Meghan is behaving exactly like someone who knows. Their relevance is entirely dependent on an association they claim to despise. Even publications that typically avoid direct criticism have noted the contradiction. Articles with headlines like, "Meghan Markle mocked for using title" have appeared in mainstream outlets, signaling that the hypocrisy has become too obvious to ignore. Comment sections are merciless. If the royal family was so terrible to you, why do you still want everyone to know you're connected to them? She wants all the benefits of the title without any of the duty or service that comes with it. This is the most transparent grift I've ever seen. The mockery works because it highlights the fundamental contradiction at the heart of Meghan's post-royal brand. She needs the institution she claims to have escaped. The contrast between Meghan's title usage and how other royals who've left the institution handle their titles is revealing. Princess Diana after divorce. Diana lost her HRH status and became Diana, Princess of Wales. She didn't plaster the title on business ventures or use it to market products. She focused on charitable work, and her influence came from her actions and character, not from obsessively reminding everyone of her royal connection. Sarah Ferguson after divorce. Fergie retained Sarah, Duchess of York, but never made it her primary identity or brand. She built a career as an author and speaker based on her own persona and work, not by constantly emphasizing Duchess credentials. Other royals who stepped back. When royals pursue independent careers, they typically downplay titles, rather than weaponizing them for commercial purposes. The focus shifts to their work, not their credentials. Meghan's approach. Title displayed prominently on everything. Every project leads with Duchess. Every statement emphasizes royal connection. The title isn't a factual descriptor. It's a marketing tool, a brand differentiator, a relevance anchor. The difference is stark. Diana and others use their platforms for genuine service and let their actions speak louder than titles. Meghan uses her title because without it, she has no platform. One royal commentator noted, "The more someone emphasizes their title, the less substantive their actual contribution tends to be." Diana didn't need to constantly remind people she was a princess. Her work spoke for itself. Meghan leads with Duchess because the title is doing all the heavy lifting. That observation cuts to the heart of the issue. Meghan's title overuse reveals the emptiness of her post-royal brand. She has no meaningful work that stands on its own merit, so she clings to royal credentials to maintain relevance. Let's be brutally honest about the business calculation behind Meghan's title obsession. It's the difference between success and failure for every venture she touches. Hypothetical scenario without title. Meghan Markle, former actress, launches lifestyle brand featuring cooking and entertaining tips. Public response. Who cares? There are thousands of lifestyle influencers. What makes her special? Actual scenario with title. Meghan, Duchess of Sussex, launches lifestyle brand featuring royal-inspired entertaining. Public response. Mix of curiosity, hate-watching, and people interested specifically because of the royal connection. The title multiplies interest by orders of magnitude. Media coverage that wouldn't exist for former Suits actress appears because Duchess of Sussex makes it newsworthy. Netflix didn't pay millions for content from Meghan Markle, TV actress. They paid for content from Meghan, Duchess of Sussex, with royal connections and controversy. Publishers didn't offer massive advances for a children's book by Meghan Markle. They paid for a book by the Duchess of Sussex that would generate media attention purely based on the author's title. Every business deal, every partnership, every opportunity Meghan receives is predicated on the Duchess title. Remove it, and the offers dry up immediately. She knows this. Her agents know this. Every brand considering partnership with her knows this. That's why the title appears on everything. It's not pride in royal service or meaningful connection to the institution. It's cold business calculation. The title is her only valuable asset, and she's leveraging it for every penny it's worth, which makes the hypocrisy even more galling. She's monetizing the royal connection while simultaneously attacking the institution that provided it, having her cake and eating it too, or trying to, while the public increasingly sees through the con. Here's the truth. Meghan will never publicly acknowledge, but everyone else can see clearly. Without the Duchess title, she's nobody. Not a successful actress, she had one supporting role on a mid-tier cable show. Not a successful humanitarian. Her pre-Harry advocacy work was minimal and largely performative. Not a successful businesswoman. Her lifestyle blog was modestly successful at best, not remotely at the scale she pretends. Not a successful author. Her children's book sales were driven entirely by curiosity about the Duchess, not literary merit. Not a successful lifestyle guru. Her cooking and entertaining content is generic and unexceptional. The only thing that makes Meghan Markle notable is that she married Prince Harry and became Duchess of Sussex. That's it. That's her entire claim to fame, her entire basis for relevance, her entire marketable identity. And she knows it. That's why she can't let go. That's why the title appears everywhere. That's why she emphasizes Duchess even as she attacks the institution that granted it. Because dropping the title means admitting that her royal marriage is the only interesting thing about her. It means acknowledging that without Harry and the connection to the royal family, she has nothing compelling to offer. That's a truth too devastating for someone with Meghan's ego to accept. So instead, she clings to the title while pretending she's above the institution. She uses royal credentials while claiming she wanted to escape royal life. She monetizes Duchess status while positioning herself as a victim of the monarchy. It's transparent, it's hypocritical, it's pathetic, and increasingly people are calling it exactly what it is, a desperate relevance grab by someone who knows the royal title is the only thing keeping her from obscurity. What makes Meghan's title usage even more offensive is that she wields it as a weapon against the very institution that granted it. She uses Duchess of Sussex to give weight to her attacks on the royal family. When she makes accusations of racism or institutional cruelty, she does so as the Duchess, leveraging royal credentials to make her claims seem more authoritative. It's a brilliant but disgusting strategy. Use the title to maintain relevance and platform, then use that platform to attack the institution, then continue using the title because you've burned all other bridges. One commentator noted, Meghan wants to be seen as a credible critic of the monarchy, so she maintains her royal title to give her criticisms weight. But she also wants the commercial benefits of the title, so she's simultaneously insider and outsider, victim and aggressor, escaped royal and current duchess. It's intellectually dishonest and morally bankrupt. The royal family is in an impossible position. They can't strip the title without appearing vindictive and giving Meghan fresh victim ammunition, but allowing her to keep it means watching her use their own credential against them. It's hostage-taking with the title. Meghan knows they won't take it away, so she exploits it mercilessly, using Duchess status to maintain relevance, while attacking the family that granted the status. If she had any integrity, she'd voluntarily relinquish the title. If her criticisms of the institution were genuine and principled, she wouldn't want any association with it, but she doesn't relinquish it. Because integrity takes a backseat to relevance. Principles don't pay the Montecito mortgage, and Meghan needs that Duchess title far more than she needs moral consistency. Royal experts and PR analysts have been increasingly direct about Meghan's title dependence. One expert stated, the obsessive use of the Duchess title reveals insecurity about her relevance without it. Truly confident people don't need to constantly emphasize credentials. The overuse suggests she knows the title is doing most of her brand work. Another noted, it's telling that Meghan leads with Duchess rather than her actual accomplishments. A truly successful lifestyle guru would brand as Meghan Markle and let the work speak for itself. The fact that Duchess appears on everything suggests there isn't enough substance to stand alone. A PR analyst was blunt. This is brand desperation. When your title is more prominent than your product, service, or contribution, you don't actually have a viable brand. You have borrowed credibility that you're terrified to lose. Even commentators who try to be diplomatic can't hide the fundamental problem. Meghan's post-royal identity is entirely dependent on royal credentials. She's built nothing substantial enough to exist independently. The title overuse isn't confidence. It's the opposite. It's desperate clinging to the one asset she has, knowing that without it, she's back to anonymity. And the mockery she's receiving is the public finally saying out loud what everyone has thought privately. The hypocrisy is staggering, the desperation is transparent, and the overuse of royal titles while attacking the royal family is indefensible. Meghan Markle is being mocked, relentlessly, deservedly, for the most transparent hypocrisy in recent royal history. She claimed she wanted to escape the royal family. She said the institution was toxic, racist, suffocating. She convinced Harry to abandon duties, leave the country, and walk away from everything royal life represented. But 6 years later, she clings to Duchess of Sussex like a drowning person clutches a life raft. Because that's exactly what it is, her only lifeline to relevance. The title appears everywhere, her website, her Netflix credits, her business ventures, her children's book. Every statement, every project, every public appearance leads with Duchess. Not because she's proud of her royal service. She barely served before fleeing to California. Not because she values her connection to the institution. She spent years trashing it. But because without that title, Meghan Markle is just a forgotten actress from a canceled cable show. Nobody special, nobody notable. Nobody anyone would pay millions to make content deals with. The title is her only asset. Her only claim to fame. Her only source of relevance. And she knows it with absolute clarity. That's why she won't drop it. That's why it appears on everything she touches. That's why even her pancake recipes and entertaining tips need Duchess of Sussex branding to generate interest. The desperate overuse reveals the emptiness beneath. If Meghan had built something meaningful, genuine humanitarian work like Diana, authentic business success like other celebrities, substantive content that stood on its own merit, she wouldn't need to constantly emphasize her royal title. But she hasn't. She has nothing that exists independently of the Duchess credential. Her post-royal career is entirely dependent on the very institution she claims to have escaped. The hypocrisy is breathtaking. Attack the royal family while using their title. Claim you wanted freedom while refusing to let go of royal credentials. Monetize the Duchess status while positioning yourself as a victim of the monarchy. You can't have it both ways, Meghan. You can't trash the institution and keep its benefits. You can't claim independence while desperately clinging to dependent credentials. Well, you can try. And Meghan is trying, but people see through it now. The mockery is relentless, the criticism is intensifying, and the hypocrisy is being exposed in every article, every comment section, every viral post calling out the contradiction. Meghan Markle wanted to be relevant without royal duties, wanted to be famous without royal service, wanted to have Duchess credibility without institutional accountability, and she's discovered that doesn't work. You can't build a sustainable brand on borrowed credibility and transparent hypocrisy, so she's stuck. Unable to drop the title because she'd become irrelevant. Unable to stop attacking the institution because that's her victim narrative. Unable to acknowledge the hypocrisy because that would require self-awareness she doesn't possess. She's trapped by her own contradictions, and the public is mocking her for it, relentlessly exposing the desperate relevance grab that the Duchess of Sussex overload represents. Meghan wanted freedom from the royal family, but she's more dependent on them now than ever, not for support, but for the title that keeps her relevant. The Duchess credential is all she has, and watching her cling to it desperately while simultaneously attacking the institution that granted it is the most pathetic display of hypocrisy in modern royal history. The mockery is deserved, the criticism is earned, and the overuse of the royal title will continue, because without it, Meghan Markle is nothing. And deep down, she knows it.